This is a biometric lock. Some fancy stuff. All right. This is my second office, boys.
Wow, this is a lot bigger than your one in Toledo.
Yeah. Jim, what are you doing in my office?
Relax, John. Just going over some work.
By invading my privacy?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going over what we should have done about 2 days ago. But you've been holding this crap off for months.
And yet, what is that?
Want to take a look at this, John?
Ash, what the hell is this?
It's all the sightings and reportings from all the Coast Guard and all the normal civilians are seeing subs on the border. All along the East Coast. What do you think it is? I've been trying to tackle this for months. And where have you been?
I've been a bit busy keeping the world from blowing up, Tim.
Tim? Where the hell did you get that name from? Your wife?
Well, that would be my husband's name, jackass.
Not to burn on this parade, gentlemen, but why don't we just have a civilized conversation about, like, you know, like everything that...
Who the hell are you talking to me like that? This is politician shit, dude.
Watch your mouth, Jim. This is the kid who saved us from all that Sindrich shit. And guess who filed the report on that? Me.
All right. We're getting out of context here, John. We gotta focus on a task at hand. You know what that is? You know what that is? What I've been trying to tell you for months. Missing my phone calls, missing all the briefings that we've been trying to get everything we can on this Red Skull. Where have you been? Sitting around in your office getting fat.
Do you know why I'm even here in the first place? Because these boys just got attacked by these Udo guys.
What? These kids, are they 5?
Are you stupid? Are you that stupid? You were there when they killed these Sindriches. These boys are 15 and they shoot well. Now let's just drop all this politician shit and have a civilized discussion. Okay?
Alright, John, you win. But I'm gonna tell you this right here now. I don't get 2 flying shits about how these 15-year-olds shoot.
Of course you don't, Jim. Because you never were there when your country needed you, you jackass. I'm sorry you had to see that, boys. It's just, things have been a little stressful around here since all this Udo crap started.
The Udo?
Yeah. The Iron Skull United Terrorist Organization. They're the ones who just attacked you.
So what's all this Udo crap you were talking about?
Well, military intelligence says that about 4 to 6 months ago, the submarines started showing up along the East Coast and in Tim's state of Michigan here, as well as the Great Lakes. It started out with just 1, and then a couple months later it went to 2, and more have come to the point that we have 6 now, with increasing amounts of frequency between the 2.
Wow, I did not know that.
Oh, I forgot to introduce you. This is Senator Jim Sykes of Michigan.
How are you?
Good.
So, so this is what Jack and I have came here for, pretty much. So I know you brought us here, but I wanted like just to talk to you about one matter that's extremely important. And now, before I start, like, do you know what the Udo are, why they're in the Great Lakes and all that?
We believe that they are setting up an attack, most likely on New York City.
But are they looking for something?
Not what I've heard. Is there something that you need to tell us, son?
I believe so. I'll be right back.
Well, he's done. You up for getting rock, paper, scissors?
You know it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors.
So, Jennifer and I, we were gonna try to tell you about this earlier, but I think on, it was Friday. We found this in our basement.
Whoa. What the hell is that?
It's ship plans. We found it in our basement. It was made by this man called Benjamin Hayes in 1979. He was on an iron ore ship called the St. Mary, and they never made it back, and it's in the Great Lakes. Well, one version's in the Great Lakes. We found this, the first copy in our basement he made.
These are the only 2 copies ever made, correct?
Yes, but the old plans, my brother has a theory that they got destroyed in the Great Lakes, and this version of plans still exists at our house. We found it in our basement in a safe.
This ship has some hell of a firepower on board. What the hell is this thing across the bottom of the ship? Huh? What is it? Here, take a look. Oh, yeah, that's a caterpillar drive. Caterpillar drive? What the hell is a caterpillar drive? It's like a jet propulsion system for underwater. They did it back in the 1980s, but we couldn't get it to work. But guess they figured out how. I'll be damned. You know what, John? We have to mass produce this thing. You know how much power we can get from this?
That's the problem with you, Jim. You always think bigger, but you never think better.
You're a general, so I'm surprised you don't want this. Do you not know the potential that our U.S. Navy can have from this?
I see the potential for this. I see the potential for dozens of these things marching on Washington, dozens of these things marching on Philadelphia, dozens of these things on San Diego.
What are you getting at, John?
Our military projects get copied all the time. Think of the F-22 Raptor and the Su-57. What's the difference? Hell, we did it with the Russians back in the 80s.
They won't even be able to get to this. Wanna know why? Because these ships will shut everyone down. Their Air Force, their Navy, their Army, their Marines, everything. Gone!
Jim, I've been a soldier for 40 years and I've been a general from 20. I have seen this happen countless times before, and it will happen again if we do this.
Well, what do you think we should do with this then?
Well, Charlie, I see these plans going just all around the world, mass-produced in every country. These plans are too dangerous to be kept in existence.
What the hell are you getting at, John?
What I'm getting at, Tim, is that these plans should have never been built in the first place. No one should have this much power. They need to be destroyed, and they need to be destroyed now.
What? No! Why don't we just keep these classified? Only him, me, and you. We don't have to destroy this. What if there's another world war? Then what?
Well, if there's another world war, then we'll have the 6 million gadgets we've been building for it since 1946. If this gets classified in the most secure and locked up place in the world, there is nothing stopping the next Russian hacker attack from taking it. What are you going to say when Putin has 15 of these and he storms into Ukraine with them? God knows what he's doing in there already. What's he going to do to us?
You know what, John? I think you're right.
Thank you.
I agree. Jack and I should have never found those plans, because now we're in this mess.
It's good that you found them. If you didn't, someone else would have.
Well, at least now you can destroy them.
Yes. You know, I think this is what they're looking for, because what happened today, they found out where we live. Somehow they figured it out, and they came to our house and almost killed us. And like they was like, I knew there was them. They were terrorist guys, and they had, I don't know how to explain this, but they have like these weapons way more advanced than we have now. It's crazy. They attacked us, and we're lucky we didn't get killed. If you didn't come and save us, we would have been doomed.
What kind of weapons are you talking about, son?
Like these laser swords almost. And in this building, like they landed on top of a building to try to trap us in there, and they blew up. They almost blew up the place pretty much. And there's a lot of them too. Like there's not like, it's not like there's like 3 or 4 people. There's a lot of them, like a lot. And they had like a helicopter. Like it was the Udo for sure. I know it was. And they pretty much, I know they're after the plans. I just know it. What else would they be after?
Well, son, from off of what I'm hearing from you, it might just be best if you stay around here, Washington, D.C., under our protection for a while.
No, we need to go back home. I mean, I have school tomorrow. I have to go to. I'm sorry, but like, General's right. We need to somehow destroy them.
Well, that pretty much wraps things up here. Still up for bowling at 1600 tonight?
You know it.
Alright.
Hey, you still owe me a mug, Jim.
Only if you show up to that briefing.
Alright, I'll see you there.
Remember, 1900 on the spot. Don't be late.
1900. Got it. Crikey, that sure was draining. Now Tim gives me a headache. I need a Pepsi. You boys want a beverage?
Sure. Well, yeah, we'll have a Pepsi too.
Cool. The DOD stocked this place with the finest Pepsi in the world.
Thanks.
Yep. You know what, General Greene? There's one thing I don't understand. How on earth could you let that bully politician just push you around like that?
Well, that's politics for you, son.
So you really think we should destroy the plans, General?
Yes.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, Jack and I just wish we never found the plans.
And it's put enough stress on us already, but I'm sort of glad that we did, because if that ended up in the wrong hands...
We'd all be goners.
Yeah.
Yes.
We actually got a note from Benjamin Hayes himself. It was meant to be a letter to his son. It was practically like, if he didn't make it back, then he had to give those plans once he found it to the government. But I guess he didn't find it since it was still there.
Right. Do you know how it could have got to your house?
My best guess is his family, I guess, lived there, and unfortunately his son never got to know. Yeah. It's been all those years just waiting for us to discover them, I guess.
Yeah.
So there's really no way that's super easy to ask for this, but you probably know best out of the three of us here that it's probably not the best idea to leave those plants unattended, right?
Right.
I agree.
So I know he has this huge essay he has to turn in.
Yeah, like school right now is so demanding. The teachers are kind of being like jerks and like, I mean, it's just like so stressful. I spent like all Friday night doing an essay and it's chaos.
Yeah. I got a 24 in my midterm, so I can relate to the stress.
Well, since I finished all my work and I know that we can't leave those plans unattended, do you think you could write me an excuse to stay home so I could just protect those plans?
An excuse from the U.S. government. I don't think I've heard that one before, but it can be done.
What time is it? Man, it's getting late. We need to get back to Wisconsin. Do you think instead of a helicopter this time we can take like a jet? Because we really need to get back.
Oh yeah. Jets are always fun.
Don't you have that bowling with that one senator guy?
Tim.
Ah, yeah. I don't think he's really expecting me to come anyway, so.
Alright.
Let's go, boys. Oh, before we go, there's one more person I want you to meet. Mrs. Wilson, please bring in Sergeant Roostes. He has fought many battles, and I love him.
Focus on the mission, man. We can't lose those plants. And if we lose them, I do.
Well, some dog you got there.
Yep. He's a very rare parrot dog. I rescued him from the salt mines of Britain. You should have saw him when he went with the sun was.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Step back, lads. This is another eye sensor. I'll make sure to call it in for you boys.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, General.